Hello and welcome to the January edition of Monkey Broadcast with me, the Jonin Monkey.
And me, Sven the Crusader, as always.
We're both back from our Christmas break and it's the new year is dawning on us. Let's waste no time and get into this news and discussion show. I can't think of a better intro than this, so again, let's not waste time and just get started on the first section. Q&A! As the title implies, the Q&A section is when we answer questions sent to us by the fans, and if you feel like sending a question to us, or what you have to do, just send them to me via PM and we'll answer them next month. So Sven, what's our first question this month?
Our first question comes from DKC Jungle Vine, and it is,
how did you guys meet, and who inspired you to make videos on YouTube?
in a short summary, Neoseeker. RPs.
Yeah, me and Sven are such nerds that we'd like to spend our pastime role-playing, that's why.
Yeah, role-playing out whatever comes to our minds. That is how we met, on Neoseeker. Jesus, nearly dawning on 6 years ago.
Oh, jeez, I think you're right with that.
Yeah, it was like September 2005, RP Blood of War. Good God, I can remember that.
And ironically, I can remember it was a Fire Emblem playthrough where we met, so that's kind of why the series means a lot to us, because it's how we've met.
Jesus, I can't even remember what characters we played.
Yeah, I think I can remember mine too. It was either Aoko or Sakuri, one of the two.
And I played, as I do, the villain. And back then, I sucked at playing villains. Take my word for it. You don't want to see what happened when I tried to play a villain the first time.
Oh, geez. Well, we both sucked back then. It was not only our first time writing, but the same thing happens with all first time writers. We try to make our characters awesome despite the suck.
That is very true. It doesn't help my personal opinion of how I wrote that, just for explanation, viewers, this was a Fire Emblem stat-based RP. And I played the villain because I hated doing stats. Turns out my villain's intro had to do with stats. So I, kind of subverted the system and pulled a critical out of nowhere for absolutely massive damage. Basically, I god-modded.
Yeah. Thankfully, we've improved a considerable amount since then, but yeah.
To say the least.
Yeah. But yeah, that's basically how me and Sven met through roleplay, which we still do when we have free time. And in terms of YouTube videos, I've been on YouTube for a while. I was give away a small amount of my personal life. I want to be a filmmaker, animator, writer, etc. So I tend to post my works on another account. I'll decide later whether or not I'll leave a link to it. But the point is, I had already put work up there, and then whilst I was wandering around YouTube, I came across Hellfire Comms, which, if you haven't heard of them, look them up because they're pretty awesome. It's basically a website of video game commentators who are doing playthroughs, and I enjoyed them a lot. I thought, this is a good idea, maybe I'll try it. But because people from my university course at the time knew what my account was, and I thought that they would probably be a bit snooty and look down on it, so I created the secondary account, which is where I came up with the Jonin Monkey. Although, interestingly, the Jonin Monkey wasn't going to be my name originally. The reason for the whole monkey avatar thing, even though I used the live action now, was because originally my idea was I was also going to take part in vlogs, and that would be the main picture I have. And the idea was going to be the masked monkey, hence why he wears the whole ninja mask and everything. But instead I typed it in, it was taken. So I thought, okay, I'll try Ninja Monkey. That was taken. Alright, I'll try Ronin Monkey, because that's what I'm doing, Samurai, taken. And in the end, I got so desperate, I just typed in Jonin, because I vaguely remember it from Naruto, and hey, presto, that wasn't taken.
And let me just say this, I find it so incredibly ironic that your name has a Naruto reference.
I know. I get around it by claiming that it just means elite ninja, and it doesn't. But also, to be fair, back then Naruto was good, but
well, at least slightly decent, because if I remember right, your first video was in October 2008, Jungle Climber?
Yeah, definitely.
It was at least less bad.
Yeah.
Now, I don't have much of a story, because before this, all I did was watch commentary. But that was basically my inspiration. Just to sum it up, Proton John and Azurblade 49. That's my inspiration. And then Jonin asked me if I wanted to be guest commentator, and thinking back to Proton John and Azurblade 49, I said hell yes.
Yeah, I can understand that. At the time I was thinking of making a Fire Emblem playthrough, and I noticed a lot of my playthroughs are getting low views, and they just seemed a bit dull and drab, so I thought, well, you know, I might as well get a secondary commentator and try to think of who I knew, and then I knew Sven basically, Sven is one of the people I trust most when I'm online, because I've known him for the longest time, so pretty much insert Sven's story here, and that's how we got started.
Yep. Hard to believe it's coming on 2 years I've been doing this. 2 years everyone watching this has put up with my insanity.
Ah, that's why we love you.
It's never a duo whenever there's not an insane one, giving views to all the videos.
Strangely enough, I've always thought of you as the same one, but anyway...
Well then again, I don't really go into much insanity on Monkey Broadcast, but some of those Fire Emblem playthroughs kind of show some of my sillier traits.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Beware the purple shorts. Dear God.
Yeah. I guess to round this question up, I should probably explain why I got in video reviews with Video Game Troubadour. The main reason for that is quite simple, because I'm a massive fanboy of www.thatguywiththeglasses.com. If you don't know, that's basically a site for all sorts of video reviewers covering so many different subjects, and for the longest time I thought, okay, I really do want to try this, and eventually, after struggling to think, okay, what can I base it on, I finally found a subject that was sort of unique and I could base it on was video game storylines, and I went for it.
Fair enough. I can't really say anything on this topic because I'm not really a part of VGT until I voice act.
That is true. Yeah, your big voice acting part's still delayed, I'm afraid.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Not your fault technology hates us all.
Yeah, although having said that, one of my online friends, Dog Yoshi, if you're listening to this, hi. His favourite joke is still one of the lines you voice acted in Cloud, it wasn't me this time. So.
Oh yeah, I saw that on one of the videos.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was on the Memories video. Yeah, but
oh yeah. I still like. No, my helmet.
Oh yes, that's a very... Unfortunately, both of those were in 2009. But anyway, we're getting off topic.
Massively off topic.
Yeah,
that's our story. Moving on.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And so with that, we'll now move on to the next 3 questions, all of which come from Metal Gamer 97.
Hi again, I still like your name.
The first question is, okay, it's a bit of a doozy.
What do you think of the Donkey Kong fan base?
I'll just start off by saying I don't actually visit Donkey Kong forums or really watch Donkey Kong videos. I'm not into fan bases that much, so I can't really say much.
Yeah, I'm of the same mind. I tend not to go on fan site forums much just because of the pointless arguments that happen up there, especially on Sonic forums. Ooh boy. But, from what I'm saying, the main DK forum I go on just to kind of vaguely gauge reactions to stuff is DK Universe, or as it's sometimes known, DK Jungle Vine, and I tend to say that the DK fanbase is usually pretty good on the whole. I mean, there are some arguments that happen here and there, but that's normal in any fan base. It's not as broken as like the Final Fantasy or Sonic fan base is. There aren't so...
Well, to be perfectly fair, it's very hard to get as broken as those fan bases.
True. The only vague problem I'd have with certain DK fans, to be honest, it's not even the whole DK fan base, it's just like small subgenres of the fan base that annoy me, and one of them happens a lot in all types of gaming anyway, so it's not really something you can blame. But the type of fan base that really annoys me is the guys who, they're not so much Donkey Kong fans as much as they are Donkey Kong Country fans, and so they just won't accept anything new. That's pretty much what they do. It's like the instant they see something that deviates, they just say, nope, it's not Donkey Kong Country, blah 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 blah, etc. Like,
so the irony of this is, and I hate to interrupt, they're Cranky Kong, old school fanboys.
Pretty much, yes. They're like Cranky Kong, only without the charm, basically. So.
And that's just,
Yeah. But I do that, and I know people don't hold 4chan to much credit, but I've been hearing guys saying that there were so many people on 4chan declaring that from the trailer that because there was no David Wise and no Kremlins, they were not going to buy Donkey Kong Country Returns, despite the fact that half of David Wise's original score is being remixed into the damn...
Yeah, it reminds me of kind of like the Mega Man fanboys, actually, that you ranted on almost a year ago now.
Oh, yeah.
Although those people seem to be way more common than the old-school retro fanboys in the Donkey Kong universe.
That is true. And the only other old sub-genre, it's very small, but they tend to be very vocal, but you can almost ignore them. It's basically people who, they're like the ones who only want Donkey Kong Country, except they only want DK arcade games, and they really hate Donkey Kong Country because they really hate the Kremlins, they really hate the world build-up, they really hate the idea that there's a continuity and DK can, actually age and everything, so they'll often claim that, oh, Nintendo hasn't officially confirmed it, despite the fact that Donkey Kong Country is not a fan fiction, and Shigeru Miyamoto was ahead of the project and did actually disapprove of several things Rare tried to incorporate, so they didn't have a problem with that.
Basically, they ignore all the facts.
Pretty much, yeah.
They say that Nintendo hasn't actually confirmed it, when they have.
Pretty much, yes. So, yeah, I'd say overall, though, beside those small minorities, the DK fan base is pretty good on the whole. But
Definitely sounds better than some of the ones I've seen, especially Final Fantasy. Ugh.
Alrighty, moving on, because Metal Gamer has in fact sent us 3 questions, so I'll let Sven read out the second one.
Alright, this one's gonna be fun for me.
Who is your favorite Kong with the exception of DK?
Jonin, why don't you start?
Okay then, Dixie.
Well, that was a spell swoop if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, that's the best way to get it done, because I don't think there's any reason to explain it. Dixie is badass. I mean, she can lift up barrels from a ponytail, she can smash me, she can play the electric guitar, she's awesome.
Thinking about it, I'm not gonna waffle around on this question. I gave some thought to it before we started, but you know what? I'm going with your answer. Dixie is badass.
Yep, definitely. If I had to sort of like give a list, I would say Diddy would probably be in 3rd, Cranky in 4th, and I guess Chunky and Kitty would be tied for 5th.
Yeah, and from the last MB, I can tell who would be at the bottom. As for me...
Yeah, it's either her or Candy, to be honest, but that's a...
Yeah. Well, let's not get into that.
Yeah. Okay,
anyway,
yeah.
As for me, I can't actually remember most of the Kongs. I can remember the ones from DK64 and the Donkey Kong countries I played on the GBA.
Well, to be fair, that is pretty much all of the cons.
True. I didn't always like Chunky, though. Yeah,
Chunky was cool, but if you excluded the Donkey Kong Jungle League bosses, they haven't really introduced any new friendly cons for a while. There's just been DK, Diddy, Cranky, Funky, Wrinkly, Swanky, Dixie, Kitty, Lanky, Chunky, and Tiny. That's about it.
Which is actually a pretty massive cast now that I think about it, so they really don't need to introduce anyone else, let's be honest.
Yeah, actually I'd say it's considerably smaller than some other platforming franchises, but yeah, I don't think they need to do this anymore for a while.
Yeah, they pretty much created an entire cast with DK64, let's be honest.
Yeah, that is true. Okay, and...
Except, please, for God's sake, replace Tiny with Dixie. She's badass!